Alright, Freddie, you ready to cut some shit?
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be cutting some vents in my fenders to match the vented hood. Try to add a little flair to it. So right now I'm just trying to figure out the design and where I want to place it on the fender. I want to try to match like the side skirts and stuff like that as much as I can, and keep the cuts more straight like the hood, not curved. Figured I would cut these and do that before I finished all the little body work. I have little Sharpie spots and all the little dings I have to take care of. No point in doing all that and then cut the fenders. I still plan on doing blinker lights in this little spot here from where I deleted the side trim. Kind of like the way it looks without the trim. In one of my recent videos I added the quick release things to the bumper, the little rubber O-rings. Pretty simple to do. If you want to check out that video, show how I did it. And similar to what I did for the hood, I'm going to use some painter's tape and mark off on one side, get it to how I like the way it looks, and I'll make like a template. That way I can flip it and put it on the other side and measure by like these lines and stuff to get it as even as I can. And also, just like the hood, it's all metal, cut and welded. Some people cut the holes out and then put in like the plastic or fiberglass vents in and then do the body work. I really don't like the way those look. I like to keep everything metal if I can. Plus I enjoy, metal fabrication, welding and stuff like that. Got my trusty titanium Harbor Freight MiG 140 welder. This thing's pretty awesome. It's a good welder for the price. Alright, I kind of have a rough stencil here. I'm going to go just a couple, maybe half an inch or an inch above this line. And then a couple inches maybe from this line here out. Alright, here's the rough template. It's kind of taped into place. So this line I kind of want to mimic the line of this part of the side skirt. Got a little bit more trimming to do, but so then I'll cut this line here and then leave this part attached. That way you can take this, push it in, and then fill in the gaps on the top and bottom with sheet metal. It's easier to start big on their template and then you can trim it down. So here where this part is flat, I'm just going to make it straight across so this comes to a point. That part just didn't look right. Starting to look a little better. Got her trimmed. Once I get this how I like it, then I could draw it out, make a template for the other side, do all my measuring, make sure everything is symmetrical or as best as I can. Then I'll draw out with a Sharpie and then measure again on the other side just to make sure it's not all wonky and crooked. And I've also been thinking about making a mold of the hood. That way I can make like fiberglass or carbon fiber versions of it. I've had a lot of people try to buy the hood from me. A lot of people asking where I bought it from, and I just tell them check out my videos. I have a 2-part series on how to do that, if you haven't checked that out already. Yeah, I think those vents will add a little something to the sides. And I'll still have room to do the metal fender flares that I want to do. Bring it out just a little bit, not totally wide body, but just bring it out a little bit so I can get some wider rims and tires on here. Alright, so this is pretty much where I want the vent to be. Now I'm going to take a Sharpie and outline this on there, and then I can take this template off and go to the other side, and then I'll measure from this body line to here, so forth, from here to here, from here to here, here to here, all the way around it. That way I can make sure I get the measurements right on the other side. Alright, I got the pattern drawn on both sides with the Sharpie. I got the windshield and my vents covered up so sparks and stuff don't get under the hood and the engine bay. Try to keep it as clean as I can. Did all my measuring, got it as close as I can. And remember, when you're cutting, obviously try to keep it as straight as you can, but you're going to cut from here, follow this line, and then back. This line here you're not going to cut. You want this still to be attached, so when you cut this out, this part, you can push inward, and then you're going to make little panels on top and the bottom here to fill in that gap. You only want the gap to be on this side here. And I'm going to be leaving the fenders on the car when I cut. That way it keeps the structure of it. It's not bending and flopping around. That way I can get the cleanest cuts. I might take it off to do the welding, but I might not. Like I said, when I first started this build, this is going to be a drift car, so I'm not really caring if everything is perfect. Like, even when I do the paint job, I'm not going to be spending too much time and making sure every little tiny scratch is filled, you know, like, because obviously it's going to get dinged and messed up from rocks and burnt rubber flying. It's not going to be a show car. And for the cutting, I'm going to be using my Drill Master 4.5 inch cutoff wheel. Just a cheap grinder I've had for years. You want to always make sure to have eye protection and hearing protection. Alright, got the cuts made. Looks pretty good so far. I just gotta have it pressed in right now, but it follows the lines pretty good. Now these gaps here, one on the bottom and the one on top, I'm going to be using some sheet metal to fill those in. So what I do for those is, in this part, to keep it from flopping around, I'll put like a socket or something that's the same distance apart that I want it. I'm going to be doing about an inch gap on here. So I'll have that there to hold this. And then I'll take a piece of paper, kind of slide it in there, and crease it so I can see about the shape that I need. Then I'll take this piece out and cut that triangle strip out, and then I'll transfer it onto some sheet metal, and then I could put it in here and weld it on. Now the one on the top is going to be longer, obviously, because it's longer up here than the bottom one, so you're going to have to make a template for the bottom and the top. I think it's going to look pretty good. Get it all filled in. Looks good from the side. Like I said, this line here, this cut, I kind of lined up with the angled part of the side skirt. Should look pretty cool when it's all done. Alright, I got the underside of the fender grinded down to where I'm going to be welding at. And I'm using this triangle magnet thing that is used for like welding pipes and stuff. I use the magnet to hold on the metal piece, and then I'm going to tack weld it from behind. Alright, got the pieces welded in. I left just a tiny bit of that lip sticking out, and then I can grind it down smooth to contour the fender because it's not completely straight. And I measured up here at the top, 1 inch gap. Now I'm going to do the bottom part here, and that way I can push this in and measure the bottom side as 1 inch too. That way the gap is even all the way across. Alright, got it, got the pieces welded in. Did like a quick little grinding on top to smooth out that line. Still have to do some more sanding and body work. And I'm going to use some fiberglass filler to kind of smoothen the little lines in here. While I got the fender off, I'm going to take the time to clean under here with some of that awesome super clean. Spray this out like underneath there and some of the stuff, that way just easier to work on in the future. Super clean, they've been pretty awesome to me, hooked me up with products to use. Soon I'm going to be doing another giveaway, so stay tuned for that video. Doesn't cost you anything. And then once I pick a winner, Super Clean will send them out some awesome products. Super Clean has their stuff in aerosol cans, spray bottles, they got foaming stuff, and the wheel cleaner. Do a quick little scrub and then rinse this down. Be nice and clean. Look at the difference just from letting it sit on there for 30 seconds or so. All that grime and stuff on there. This stuff works really good. I'm really liking the foaming stuff. So if you're looking for a degreaser, I recommend Super Clean. Check them out. Works great for cleaning like engine blocks and anything that's super greasy and dirty. Alright, well, I'm going to put the fender back on. The rest of the body work I have to do to it, I can do it while it's on the car. So let's see how it looks. Alright, got the fender back on. Just threw a little bit of some primer on there to keep the metal from rusting. It looks really good. I'm pretty happy how it turned out. Matches the other vents pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna show the other side. I don't want this video to drag out any longer than it has. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know if you decide to do it. You could send me some pictures or whatever. I'd like to see how yours turns out. The next video or so, I'm going to be doing another Super Clean giveaway. They hit me up and asked if I'd like to give away some more stuff to my subscribers, which is pretty cool of them. So stay tuned for that video. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one.